Al, you ready?
Yeah. I'm
Mr.
watching
Early.
the game. I'm like 10 minutes.
Al got Comcast. I just yeah, early.
Al got the precast.
Al got all the cash. But what I got is these fans' attention. DMV Sports 3. Here we are, the OGs of the DMV. This is the OGs of the DMV show. We're back. And this is what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about a lot of things, man. We have some things that we need to get off our chest from the last game. Hey, man, there's a 1-0.
1-0, baby.
We coming with some aggression, we coming with some optimism, and we're coming hard. But before we get started, and all the fans who know us and those who are new, we always say, let's get it.
You don't know. You don't know who you messing with. You don't know who you messing with. You don't know. You don't. I run you up and down the Serengeti. Heads ain't ready. I chew you up and spit you out like chicken confetti. My rhymes are heavy like elephants, stomping your regiments, dismembering all your limbs, ripping your ligaments. I break you down to an atom, change your chemical structure, roots and culture. You don't wanna fuck with this brother. I'm like a time bomb or a fresh can of Wilshire. Stylus plexiglass got you face down in the grass, ready to blast. Sticky for your jewels and your cash. Call me Robin Hood. Take the loot back to the hood. I wish you would try to retaliate. I wait like a sniper, beat you like Street Fighter, heat you up like a lighter. Don't need no ghost writer. Original skill, killing at will. Terminates career like the pill. This is real, not no fiction. Came up for my jurisdiction. I'm liver than you, whether freestyle or written. Hitting hard like a hammer, like a natural disaster, like a hurricane. Plain and simple, bringing the pain. Won the battle. What? I'm ready to do this. Beat your ass like Lennox Lewis. Play you out like Parker Lewis.
All right. Here we go. We're back. All three of us are here. All three of us are ready. And all three of us are excited about what's going on in Washington. Hey, a lot of things has changed in Washington. I mean, new owner, new OC, new attitude. Hey, guess what?
What?
Sold out crowd at FedEx for the first game. Let's give them applause, everybody who was there.
Not only was it sold out, it was sold out with Washington fans.
In Washington. And you know what also is going down? I'm talking to you, Philly. I'm talking to Philadelphia fans, NFC East notorious gangsters that always treat people bad. Guess what? The only team that's willing to stand up to you has a new attitude. And I saw it. I think y'all saw it. I think everybody saw it. Don't know the whole story.
Don't need to know.
I don't know the whole story. But what I do know is that there was a Baltimore Ravens fan who was brave enough, give him credit for that, shout out to that fan, to wear his jersey to the stands. But something happened, Big Al. Something happened, Deacon. Something happened where there wasn't protocol. This is see what you're watching right now. This is egregious. I'm gonna go back. Hey, this Deacon, I'm rewound the joke. This right here. Something didn't go down.
Hold on, Trey. We do not
promote
violence.
We old guys.
This is for educational purposes only.
That's right. Listen, I want to make sure that's clear. Say it again, Deacon.
We do not promote violence. This is just for educational purposes only.
And Deacon name, there's a reason why we call him the Deacon. However, going back to this here, sir, I don't know what's going on. And I'm an old guy, but I can predict prior to this here, there were some things that did not register with the guy with the poncho. I don't listen. No, listen to me. I'm trying to be serious. Y'all laughing. I really don't understand the guy with the 52 jersey from Baltimore. He don't look at how he's looking right here. Right here. Watch when that hat goes off. Look how he just kind of like, I'll take it. He understood it. But the person who needs to answer the questions is the guy in the poncho. Stop laughing, fellas.
But this is for educational purposes, so we need to know exactly.
Can I finish?
Yes, please.
Philly fans, it's a new day in Washington. The example. This is an example of what Philly can't do no more. Don't come in here and thinking that everything is sweet. This guy.
Okay, hold on. First of all,
no, Deacon, hold on. Let me finish. Can we figure out how to reach out to this guy? Because I want to know. I want to know what was that. And then look at Mr. Allen here in the back.
yeah.
Mr. Allen in the back is holding dude's arms. Now I want you to look at Mr. Allen, and I want you to pay attention to the fact that he's not really holding. He's more caressing and hugging. He's not like aggressively holding at this point. So there's a lot of questions that I have at this moment in time. Watch it. Let it play. Let it play. And then see, he just kind of lays down. He lays down.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
Okay. Now, something happened on the ground. My man with the red skin had us picking it up, right? Dude, Allen, he even getting sacks in the stands. Do
you think Dude Allen and Ray Lewis came together?
Maybe afterwards. Maybe afterwards there was
all right.
The question is, listen, my question is this.
Hey.
The fight.
I'm trying to understand how Mr. Ray Lewis came to FedEx and allowed Mr. Allen right here. Mr. Allen, look at Mr. Allen. He doesn't look swollen. He's not really showing any kind of authority. Look at this guy. He's kind of like just like, hey, stop. Look at him.
That's not even an official jersey.
He got the bootleg joint. But watch this. Now we got the security officer. He's explaining things, trying to be clear. Okay.
That's who he's angry with, the security. But
he can't be angry with the security.
Dude,
he cannot.
Listen, he shouldn't be now. I'm just saying, he's not even focused on the dude with the poncho.
Mr. Allen, who is
poncho, just steps in.
Mr. Allen is not trained. He's not trained.
That's
now watch Mr. Allen's head. Watch Mr. Allen.
He makes sure he don't get it.
Not me. Oh, that's terrible. This is not good.
Maybe he might have caught one. Fire right there.
Don't show
this.
Don't show this no more. Because we don't know the evidence. Stop it. We don't know the evidence. We don't know what's going on.
Let's see what happens when he actually.
Nothing happens.
That's a smart move. He starts to walk away.
Sometimes president. Listen, Deacon. Stop it, Deacon.
I'm just trying to tell you, he's a little loose in the legs right now, so he kind of wibbly wobbling.
Deacon, here's the end of our soliloquy here. Philly fans, it's a new day. It's a new day. And listen, and the OGs, once again, we don't promote none of this.
We're not promoting. Doesn't mean it wasn't fun. We just
no. Listen, at the end of the day, we're just looking at the data. The data popped up on our screen. I mean, I don't even have social media like that, but I mean, most of us don't. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to figure out, what jersey was he wearing? I mean, he wasn't even, the poncho dude wasn't even wearing, no, it was 20.
He was not,
he was 26. He was Clinton Quarters.
He was an interesting bystander. He wasn't even security.
He was wearing hanky spanky jersey and whooping this man like that. Something ain't right. But you know what it is? What it is this. Philly fans, don't come in here no more. And this is a public service announcement. This is not a promotion or whatever like that. But whatever Ray Lewis said didn't fly last week. And this is an OG thing. And we are the OGs. And we want to make sure that you guys come and enjoy the game, whoever you are.
Watch your mouth. That's all we're saying. Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth, baby.
Watch it. Take the L and go home.
Watch your mouth.
The data says.
For the fans, fellas. For the fans.
So, with that being said, let's recap. Let's talk the last game. Let's talk football. How did y'all feel about the last game? We talked a lot. We predicted a lot. We did a lot. What y'all think about the last game? And we went live, and those of you who know we go live at 4:15 at the end of the game. If it's a 4:15, 4:30 game, then we struggle to get on, but we will get on even after that too. But how did y'all feel, gentlemen? Let's
Hey, it's a win. Tracy, it's always a win. We always love a win, man.
W's a W.
W's a W, baby. Whatever way we get it. I think the enemy said that we just love the alphabet to get to W. You know, that's what the enemy said today. So we got a W. We happy about the W. Now we do know there's some needs of improvement. You know, I'm gonna talk about that a little later on, but it's a W and we won. And a team that we were supposed to beat, and we beat them. So that's all that counts.
That's all. We didn't get the 40 burger like I was hoping we would. But
40 was a lot. 40 was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot. And you know, I was being a homer, and I was hoping for the best of the best. But this is probably the best we could have got, which is we have a second year rookie quarterback in the second game, brand new offense, brand new offensive coordinator, brand new everything. First time he's played into a full stadium, you know, first time for everything. So, you know, like you said, like, win's a win. But what I'm happy about is that even though he took some hits and he took some, he did the full circuit now. He had an interception, he had a fumble for a touchdown,
interception, touchdown run,
threw interception, ran interception.
Yeah, he did
everything. He looked at the board and just did it all. He said, "I'm gonna do it all today. I'm gonna get it out the way. I'm gonna get it all out the way." But what I like about and I think Big Al's gonna go into his deep dive, which y'all should stick around for later. And understand that, you know, at the beginning of the show, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the sections in. You can go follow on the screen on the bottom to see if you want to skip ahead to certain sections on the second time. Watch the whole thing the first time, and then come back the second time and then pick out your favorite spots. But hey, listen, when Hal went out of bounds and got hit, it was a malicious, targeting hit. What we have to remember, and I think, this is how you build team chemistry, is the first thing that I'm going to show y'all a little bit of the play. But I think the first thing you should remember is, what does the people that are protecting you do? What did they do? What's the first thing they thought to do in that fight, right? So I'm going to pull this up. As we look at it, I want y'all to watch the lineman. And I don't know what Hal was doing. He's wide open. You see that malicious hit. That was just egregious. But watch number 72 and watch number 77. And then watch, I think this tight end over here. I'm not sure who that is. It might be Logan. He wasn't doing anything. But see how they break out in the full sprint? Somebody's about to get it. Number 7.
And the ref is like,
he got the flag out, didn't he? Hey, the first thing. Yank.
Hey, look, that was it. So he was like, fuck it, I'm out.
He laid back down.
Look, Al, the job is done.
Yeah. Well, what I like about that, though, is that builds team chemistry, man. You love one another, you play for one another, you protect one another.
That's right. And the lineman, that's what you do. The lineman is supposed to do that. Going back to preseason, when we saw my man, he ran up there and dude was trying to get in there and he just had the opportunity to say, oh, this play's still live, and he laid dude out. This is what linemen are supposed to do. Your whole job is to protect your quarterback, period.
Yes,
you protect your quarterback during the game. You protect your quarterback during the play. You protect your quarterback going to IHOP after the game. You protect how. That is your job. You are the professional bodyguard, i.e. guard.
And see, this goes back to what we were talking about just a few minutes ago about getting beat up in the stands. That wouldn't have happened last year. You know what I'm saying? They tried to beat our quarterback down and try to, get him to quit. but the team stuck together and we rallied it out.
Right.
And I don't think that would have happened last year. We were soft last year.
Yep.
This year we're not playing no games.
Yes, sir.
So if you come in here with that nastiness, we're gonna give you some nastiness back. You really better check out center. He's loopy.
Right on.
So you're lucky he didn't get over there.
Certifiable.
That's right. That's right. But the game was what it was. We got to win. It was ups and downs. It wasn't, the perfect game. But like Bienemy said, we're playing the alphabet game. Which letter did you get? And we got the W. We didn't get
the W. That's right.
Let's make it happen. Big Al, you got something prepared for us, man, with
I got a
deep dive.
Oh, no.
Deep dive of the year.
You're going deep.
Going deep on this one.
Going deep, baby.
All right.
Deep,
Tell us what
baby.
we got, Big Al. Uh-oh, I done cut Al out. Wait a minute, Al. Hush now, hush.
Gotta get in the middle.
Make it happen, baby.
Deep dive. Today, in the deep dive, we're going to talk about the O-line. The O-line. And how did it perform against the Phoenix Cardinals? How did it perform against the Phoenix Cardinals? What did it do? What did it actually do? Because your eyes said one thing, but when you take a deep dive, you saw something a little bit different. And actually, the O-line wasn't as bad as we thought they were. They wasn't great, but they wasn't bad as we thought they were. We're going to start off with the two best. The two best was Leno and, believe it or not, Cosby. They were the two best O-linemen we had that day. Both of them graded out in the 80s, according to ProFootball.com. Both of them didn't give up a sack. Both of them didn't run protect. They just had a pretty decent game. Both of them played very, very well, to be honest with you. Now, we went straight to our other guard, which is Trey-Z's best friend. What's his name, my man? Let's see. What's the other guard's name?
Sadiq Charles.
Sadiq Charles.
Siddiqui
did not have a bad game at all. He was in the 70s.
Right.
Sadiqui was in the 70s. He did give up one sack, but we don't know. It wasn't his fault.
That was the center, man.
The other was the center's fault. So,
Yeah.
and also I think the running back tripped his leg, tripped him up or something like that.
Yeah. He went through
But
the whole
Sadiqui played very well on the pull game, the block game. He was pass blocking good. Sadiqui was very athletic out there. He had a not so bad game. The eye test was proven well. Now, unfortunately, the center had an aggressive game. He made some really, really good hits, Gates, but he had a couple little incidents. He wasn't quite as high as Sadiqui, but he was battling out there. But the man hits, especially on the run game. The man hits. Now, the young man that had the worst game, as we know, was Wiley, the right tackle. Unfortunately, he was around 65 or so. He gave up about 3 sacks.
Yeesh.
The only 3?
His game wasn't what we thought it was. He did pretty well on the run block. He was very aggressive. He struggled in the pass game. Now, if you think about it, 80% of the time to 70% of the time he was battling, he had about 10 really bad plays. And we have to improve on that. We may have to give him a little help. But believe it or not, if you think offensive line, the tight ends go hand in hand with the offensive line.
That's right.
And unfortunately, the guy that had the worst game totally as line play was Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas was a little slow to recover from his injury. The pass block, he gave up a sack. In the run game, he just wasn't holding on to his blocks. And unfortunately, when he went to the pass game, he dropped a couple passes too. So he had a rough game. Logan Thomas had a rough game. But saying all of that, the reason why our eye test, the offensive line did not pass our eye test was unfortunately as our young quarterback was a little slow on the gun. He held the ball a little long and has made a couple of mistakes. And we hope we can improve on that. Looking forward to this next game. Really truly Denver's defensive line was is about the same as Phoenix's defensive line. They got a pretty good secondary, but the defensive line is not that strong. And we hoping that our young quarterback can improve. We hoping Bienemy can get some more help to Wiley to the right. And maybe Wiley can help work on their footwork a little bit better. But I'm looking for, I think our offensive line has some potential. It can improve. It wasn't as bad as we thought we were. We take a deep dive.
Right on.
It's not as bad as we thought it was.
Right on.
Not as bad. Not as bad. I like that.
Right on, Big Al. Hey, Big Al. I love the deep dive. I gotta hold my breath, but yo, I just but speaking of deep dives, Al, man, you brought up something that I want to go ahead and piggyback on, man. Logan Thomas.
Oh, that's cold.
Now, everybody knows that I've been watching this show for quite some time, man. Logan Thomas, that's my man. Matter of fact, I have Logan Thomas as the savior of the offense, man. So I was not impressed. I did not like what I saw. And then now you adding his blocking. He couldn't catch. He couldn't block. I'm like, now you just a Cadillac that's just riding around that shuts off at the light. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you look good, you smell good, but you ain't good. So what's going on with my man Logan Thomas? Anybody want to talk about that? Because I need him to do what he do, man. He's not hurt. He's not catching.
Yeah.
He's not blocking. I mean, come on, man. What?
He had a rough game. We took a deep dive. We looked at him on the all 22s. He had a rough game. He just had a rough game. Now, maybe a little rusty.
A little rusty.
You know, he didn't have no preseason. Basically, he had no preseason at all. You know, so
he hasn't had anything. He hasn't had anything. I mean, he's been hurt. He's been hurt since last year, so he hasn't played. Not that should keep you from actually catching the ball, but in live fire, sometimes you need to wind yourself up a little bit.
He needs to understand that the young man wants to throw the ball to competent players because the young man wants to impress. And if he knows that he can put the ball out there to Logan Thomas and he catch the ball, then he's going to get the pass. And again, I always say, a person can't play unless they get the opportunity, i.e. my man Crowder coming back out the blue, returns the punt a lot better
He's on
than
the 52.
what we've seen for the last 3 years. Last 3 years. Because what?
Oh, Lord.
Damn.
We're gonna get to that later.
Right.
We're gonna get to that later. But with Logan Thomas, man, I think that he was just rusty. Hopefully, he'll get about
I like that. I like how y'all did that. Y'all good.
He'll get about 3. I give him 3 games because if you look at Cole Turner, the way he caught that ball in the middle, man, it wasn't on him. He had a wide catch radius. He helped the quarterback out because the quarterback had to slip
He
up.
went up and got it.
Blitz coming up the middle, and you can't hold a man back for so long. So if you're not doing your job, we all love Logan Thomas. He really helps us out, but sometimes your time is up.
Well, he had a rough game. I mean, and Logan Thomas never was the greatest blocker in the world, but he always made it up with the catching the ball and running patterns and stuff like that. And the 2 drops hurt him. And his blocking skills was not up to power, man. He struggled, especially in the run blocking. He struggled in it. And then he also gave up a sack, too. So he just had a rough game. We all do from a rough game. Hopefully he can recover. We'll see. If not, you give him 3 games, give him 2 or 3 games. If not, next man up.
Next man up. Hey, listen, I will say this. What Trey Z was right. I'll keep saying it. I'll say it. What Trey Z is always right about, what he's been always right about. Aquaman is the worst, sorriest character in Marvel Universe.
It's DC.
Yeah, man, come on, man. And I thought Namor was going to be worse than Aquaman, but he was better than Aquaman.
Namor the joint.
Hey, listen.
Namor made Aquaman look like a middle school 7th grader.
What Namor was, okay. Let's get back to football.
We playing Denver this week.
Geek Squad.
Huh? All right, so we're going to get into a new segment. A new segment we got called "What I Will Be Right About in Denver." And that comes from he who thinks that he's always right, Mr. Trey Z. Oh, I cut him off again.
I knew you was going to do that. I knew that because I'm always right. Yeah. Hey, man, listen, stop. I'm always right. Hey. Welcome to the new segment. These guys are so mad that I'm always right. They got me predicting what's going to happen. So I'm going to make an attempt to predict this upcoming game against the Denver Broncos. Let me go ahead and say this. If it was me and I was the DC coordinator, I would be looking at what I saw last week at the us against the Bamas. And what I would say is, I got to keep Mr. Howell under pressure. And so Mr. Predicting what's going to happen is that we're going to continue to see a lot of blitzes. Oh my goodness, they're going to be coming. They're going to come, and they're going to come with a passion to try to knock Sam Howell off. Now, they played Jimmy Garoppolo with the Raiders last week, who actually beat them Bamas. And Garoppolo, I don't think, has the legs that Howell has. So one of the things that I saw in that game is that Garoppolo was able to run occasionally. And I feel like if Howell is paying attention and somebody is telling him not to hold the ball so long, he'll be able to scamper out against some of these aggressive, and I do mean aggressive, because they're going to be coming defense. The offensive lineman that Al was just talking about in the deep dive is going to really have to step up. They're going to really have to give him the opportunity, because I do not see the Raiders receivers, even though they have Mr. 17 on their team, the Raiders receivers, I don't think cumulatively is better than our receivers. And so I think that we can give Denver some fits, because I don't feel confident in their safety game. I don't. I feel like these individuals were there and they're playing and they're doing what they need to do, but they ain't necessarily something that we ain't going to be able to beat down. Scary Terry, Dodson, oh my goodness. And then we got my man, the Swiss Army knife, Samuel. So with that being said, if we can make sure that who we were just talking about, Mr. Logan Thomas, actually shows up, that's a lot of weapons that Denver's going to have to deal with defensively. Now, on the other side of the ball, I predict, and I'm always right, that we're going to give Mr. Russell Wilson fits, because from what I understand, if I remember, he was under 5 yards per pass. I don't know what quarterback could beat us 5 yards per pass. I think with our front seven, I think with our newly acquired secondary, I think we have some young gunners. I think Russell Wilson's going to have a hard time even getting those 5 yards. And I think that if we, Mr. Jack Del Rio, I'm talking to you, do what you need to do in order to apply the pressure. Apply the pressure that we didn't see first half of the last game, that we saw definitely second half of that game. And keep that on Mr. Wilson. He's going to crumble. He's going to crumble and go crying to Sierra about how, he couldn't do it. And she's just going to laugh and call me Tracy. Because I'm always right.
My goodness. Who gave him a segment? Who idea was that?
Bring
Whose
it
idea
back.
was that, man?
Well, piggybacking off what Tracy said, I kind of agree with him, because he's always right. And
I turned his mic down. So
turn his mic down a little bit. I think that the Denver's going to zone blitz, because Howard struggled a little bit in Phoenix's zone. So there's going to be a lot of zone blitzing. And I think that we're going to have to put some pressure on Russell. Just put some pressure, a little pressure on him, so he won't just pick us apart throwing short. So I think that we need to put some pressure. We might have to blitz him. I personally feel man-to-man, because I don't think their receivers is as good as they think they are. You know what I'm saying? I know
they got one receiver.
Well, I think Jerry Judy's supposed to play this week too. So Sutton and Jerry Judy playing this week?
He is suspect right now.
Receiver,
he's suspect.
Yeah.
The other one is questionable.
Yeah, Jerry Judy is suspect to play.
Okay,
we don't know yet.
So they got one receiver right now, and we think they can play. Was it Sutton or something like that? So I think we're gonna have to go man to man and blitz. Get pressure on.
Man to man.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's our game plan. And I think we're going to have to do the dink and dunk type offense with that blitz coming. Howell's going to have to be able to read that blitz quickly and dink and dunk down the field. And then once you do that a couple times, then you're going to go over the top to Terry. You know what I'm saying? Over the top to Terry. So Trey Z, Mr. Always Right, I'm in agreement.
with Trey Z. That's it. Yeah, but he's Switzerland, so you can't take that for nothing. It's Switzerland, But you are right. That is something that we're going to have to do, and we'll see what happens. Come Denver, I'm thinking that they're going to be trying to come at us because we have a rookie quarterback, basically. So they're going to be blitzing us. They're going to see if we can hold the line and keep this man on his feet. 10 toes down, as they say, ain't they right, young people?
10 toes down, baby.
10 toes down.
All right. So before we get out of here, I'm gonna say a few words, and I'm hoping that it comes across as what it meant to be. I'm going to be praying for certain people, and one in particular. And I'll say this. I'll paraphrase this section as, God said, "I stand at your door and knock. Will you let me in?" But you got to hit a knock. And to this week, Leno restructured his contract. Now, it was good for him because he got a $7 million payout in his bonus. But he freed us up about $6 million worth of cap space. The man I'm praying for, his name is Cody Barton. Cody, you better step up this week. Last week, you looked a little slew of foot. Not a fleet of foot, a little slew of foot. And people are waiting for your spot. They're waiting. So you got to do your job. Mayo is behind you. He's ready to go. He's probably one step slower than you. But as soon as we get through Mayo, we're probably going to have to end up bringing somebody in before the deadline. And I think that's what they're freeing up some space for. Everybody thinks we're freeing up space for maybe another lineman, but linemen take a long time to get situated and work together as a group, as a unit to bowl some people over. So I'm thinking they're freeing up space just in case we have to bring another middle linebacker in, because I don't want to see Jamin Davis back in the middle linebacker. He's doing good where he is now. He's our number one tackler. Well, actually, Cam Curl got more tackles last week. But he is the middle linebacker that we thought he was going to be before they moved him to the Mike linebacker. So we're going to need another Mike. Our Mike is a little slow, it's a little delayed, but we're going to see if we can get somebody in there if Cody Barton doesn't hit a knock. Because once you hit a knock, baby, your locker gets missing, clothes get damaged. Everything goes bad from there, fellas. So here we go. We're going to go into this week with a prediction of wins, losses. I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and get Denver, man, punch him in the mouth, and we eke out a 3-point win because, like last week, we do what's necessary. And if we're not blowing them out, we're going to beat them necessarily as long as we got the W on our side.
Well, I got us a little bit more. I guess it's a 10-point win. I think we're going to steal one in Denver this week. I think our defense is going to score 14 points.
Wow. Going to score 14?
I think Sierra has put a whammy on Russ.
Whammy. Blaming it on Sierra?
She put a whammy. Ever since she been
secret weapon.
She got secret weapon. She put that whammy. His focus is not on the game. He's focusing on being a daddy number 4. He raising future kids and everything like that. So he's focusing on being a daddy and got that whammy on him. So I think that Russell's going to make some mistakes. I'm thinking he's going to force the ball, and we're going to get some pickoffs this week. This week is going to be our pickoff week. I got us getting 2 interceptions and 14 points on the defense. 14 points. And there's a possibility of Chase Young sighting. A possibility.
Hey, he was a full practice today.
All day.
Full practice.
All day. Okay. All right. Well,
10-point win.
10-point win. I have a closer game. I do have a closer game. I think defense only has defense. The Broncos only have defense. Excuse me. I think that's all they got. I'm not impressed by Wilson. I'm not worried about P. Ryan. You remember P. Ryan?
P. Ryan.
I'm not worried about somebody.
He's one of their best backs.
Hey, he was. He was intricate when they lost last week.
And they used them a lot last week, but I ain't worried about them. So with that being said, and we already talked about the receivers. I'm not concerned. I just need our coaching staff to call the right plays for the right people for the right talent. And with that being said, I think it's going to be still a close game because I think everybody's still learning each other and trusting each other. One of the things I do know is that they know Kansas City offense, and we ran Kansas City offense, so the world knows that that's what we're running. We are Kansas City East. You all right, y'all? This is what we are now as Commanders fans. So Denver knows that. Other teams might not, but Denver knows that well. So with that being said, the game is going to be close. But I do think that we get the W, Deacon. We get the W because Russell Wilson is not impressing me. I think he's trash.
Well, you can know what we're running. It's a matter of can you stop us.
That's right.
And we're going to put it down their throat this week. Mile high in their own house.
That's right.
All the oxygen up there, gentlemen. That's what.
That's right. That's right. Easy ride home. All right, gentlemen. We're going to get y'all next week. Thank everybody for subscribing. Thank you for hanging in there with us. We got a whole season to come, plus some playoffs.
What's up?
Fellas, let's get out of here.
Watch your back, Ray Lewis.